Hi, my name is Michael and welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to actually talk about my turbo e46 that just blew up. I did want to focus the first couple of videos on my Evo 9, but with this blowing up literally the other day when I recorded the last video, I'm going to go ahead and sidetrack a little bit and diagnose or just jump into this a little bit. And I mean, I already know what happened, and I'll go ahead and I actually have videos of the failure. So I'm going to go ahead and share those clips and then let you be the judge and let you figure out what you think happened.
Quarter mile. 60. Half mile.
Just blew up. Wow. Yep, you guessed it. I money shifted it. So I was trying to do a draggy run because it was pretty nice weather yesterday, and I went from pretty much 3 to 2nd gear. Never done that in my life, but I guess there's a first for everything. Now, in my defense, and it's still my fault, I think running the chassis mounted IRP shifter with softer trans mount did not help, because I used to have a Condor trans mount and a Condor motor mount, so pretty much solid mounts, and I never really had issues shifting, but I really hated the NVH that the trans mount was giving me. Like, there was a lot of vibrations through the tunnel, so I recently switched to an 80A rev shift mount, and then I went to an IRP shifter, and I think just all that torque moved the transmission over to where I went into 2nd gear instead of 4th gear. I mean, that's my excuse, but it's, you know, going from 3 to 4 is not hard. You're going straight down. So I think that's probably what happened, which it really sucks, but it is what it is. I think I'm probably going to end up parting this car out, so there's not really going to be a lot of videos on this car. But what I wanted to do today is just to get the valve cover pulled off and see if I can tell if the valve's bent, because that's kind of the way it seems like. Like, here's a video of me trying to start it afterwards. So you can see that it has no compression. So I think it probably jumped timing and it bent a bunch of valves. The bottom end might be okay, but these motors are pretty cheap, and they're kind of a crapshoot too. If you don't know anything about M54s, sometimes they'll hold 20 pounds of boost and sometimes they won't hold any boost. It seems to be kind of a crapshoot. All right, so I'm gonna start by getting this valve cover off, and the first thing you have to do is actually take off I think it's the cabin filter. And then once I take that off, I can get access to all the bolts, which most of them I think are just 10 mil. So I'll go ahead and do that now. So I don't really see anything super obvious. I thought, I would see some like lifters cracked or busted, but I mean, everything looks okay. And now I'm no like experience when I don't have like a lot of motor experience with these cars, so maybe the only thing I can think of is like the lifters, like it looks like it's up a little bit, but maybe that's normal for these cars. I don't know, but there doesn't appear to be any kind of carnage or nothing. No material anywhere. I mean, the car definitely has no compression. You can hear it when I try to start it. It just doesn't build any compression. And I can see the serpentine belt moving, so the crank is at least somewhat there. But maybe I'll change the oil and go from there. So I guess I'll do a little walk around of this car since I haven't really shown it off yet or nothing. This is a 2001 330 Ci. It's got like 140 something thousand miles. Original motor as far as I know. It has a BE Racing bottom mount turbo kit. Made 480 on a Mustang dyno, so pretty good power. It's on e45, 17 pounds turned up all the way. Obviously it's probably blown up, I guess. I really like this car a lot. This is pretty much what I drove every day. This was my daily driver, more or less. I put a LSD wave track in the rear. It still has the 293 gearing that these cars came with from factory. It's 5-speed. Has a ZF trans. I did some things to update the interior. Like it's got an Android head unit. It has an IRP shifter, which was awesome until it wasn't. It's a pretty clean car. Like I really enjoy this car. You know, the turbo inline 6 was a lot of fun. This was really kind of my first experience in rear-wheel drive. I've always kind of had all-wheel drive cars. I've had some pretty big power all-wheel drive cars, but this was my first rear-wheel drive car that made more north of 300 wheels. So it was a pretty fun learning experience. I owned this car for a little over a year. It's been turboed since February of this year, but it's probably going to get sold and parted out. I mean, I could change my mind, but I just have too many other cars right now with projects that I would rather spend my money and time on than this car. These cars really aren't worth a lot either. Like this, I mean, if this was like an M3, I would be more willing to keep it, but it is what it is. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I probably won't have anything else until after New Year's. That's when I'm expected to receive the turbo for that car. So that's probably when I'll start diving back into the Evo. But hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.